title, put your name in mystic water and attract a lot of money, beloved friends. Sit gently with this moment. Let the breath arrive. Let the breath leave. When the mind is still, even water begins to listen. Today we speak of mystic water not as superstition, not as illusion, but as a mirror. Water has no desire, yet it reflects all things. When the heart is restless, water trembles. When the heart is clear, water becomes calm. To place your name into water is not an act of magic. It is an act of awareness. Your name is not merely sound. You tell yourself each day. When you write your name and place it into water, ask yourself quietly, who is this person I am nourishing? Is this name filled with fear or with trust? Is this name chasing money or walking in harmony with abundance? Many seek money as one chases a shadow. The faster they run, the farther it seems. But the wise know money follows clarity just as the body follows the mind. Water teaches us this truth. It flows without force. It reaches great oceans without struggle. When you look into the water and see your name, let greed dissolve. Let desperation dissolve. Replace them with intention, discipline, and right action. Say silently, may my work be useful. May my effort be honest. May my reward arrive naturally like rain after dry season. When the mind is aligned, opportunity appears. When action is steady, resources gather. When purpose is clear, wealth finds its place not as a master but as a servant. Remember, water does not create gold, but it reflects the face of one who is ready to receive it. Change the mind. Purify intention. Act with wisdom. Then whether your name rests in water or in the world, abundance will know where to find you. Sit in silence. Drink the water. Walk your path. Mystic water is a symbol, not magic. Putting your name in water represents self-reflection and awareness, not superstition. Water mirrors the state of your mind and intention. When we speak of mystic water, we are not speaking of magic in the sense of tricks or shortcuts. We are speaking of symbolism, of awareness, and of the quiet power of reflection. Water itself is neutral. It does not choose wealth or poverty, success or failure. It simply responds. When disturbed, it ripples. When left undisturbed, it becomes still and clear. In the same way, the human mind reflects whatever is placed into it. If the mind is filled with confusion, fear, or impatience, no ritual can override that state. But when the mind is calm and intentional, even the simplest act can become meaningful. Placing your name into water is not meant to force money to appear. It is meant to slow you down long enough to notice yourself. Your name represents your identity, your habits, your beliefs, and your relationship with effort and reward. When you see your name resting in water, you are symbolically asking, what am I carrying into my life each day? If the answer is anxiety, comparison, or desperation, the water reminds you how unstable those states are. If the answer is clarity, patience, and discipline, the water shows you how naturally things can settle. Many people misunderstand rituals because they look outward instead of inward. They believe the power is in the object rather than in attention. But water has always been a teacher of presence. It asks nothing and resists nothing. It shows you exactly what is there. When you approach it with awareness, it becomes a mirror. In that mirror, you can see whether your pursuit of money is rooted in fear or in purpose. Money pursued through fear brings exhaustion. Money approached through purpose brings sustainability. This is why mystic water is symbolic, not supernatural. It does not change reality for you, it reveals how you are already interacting with reality. When you observe your name in water, you are invited to observe your thoughts about worth, success, and timing. Are you rushing? Are you doubting yourself? Are you expecting rewards without right action? Water does not judge these questions, but it reflects them honestly. When the mind understands this, the ritual becomes grounding instead of distracting. It brings you back to responsibility. It reminds you that wealth is the result of alignment between thought, action, and value. Water flows because it follows gravity, not because it wishes to arrive somewhere faster. Likewise, financial growth follows consistency, skill, and service, not impatience. In this way, mystic water becomes a pause to breathe, a pause to notice. It teaches that no external object can replace inner clarity. When clarity is present, even ordinary actions gain power. When clarity is absent, even elaborate rituals remain empty. The water does not create abundance, but it quietly asks whether you are ready to move in harmony with it. Your name carries identity and intention. A name in water symbolizes examining who you are, what you believe about money, and the story you tell yourself about success. A name is more than a label given at birth. It is a container for identity, memory, belief, and habit. Every time your name is spoken, written, or thought, it quietly carries the weight of how you see yourself and how you move through the world. When we say that your name carries intention, we are pointing to this invisible accumulation of meaning. It holds your confidence and your doubt, your discipline and your avoidance, your expectations about what you deserve and what you believe is possible for you. When your name is placed into water, the act invites you to pause and look at that identity without distraction. Water does not argue with the name. It does not praise it or reject it. It simply holds it. In this stillness, you are given the opportunity to observe who you are being, not who you wish to appear as. This observation is essential because money responds not to wishes, but to patterns. Your daily choices, your consistency, and your relationship with effort all flow from the identity you live inside. Many people say they want abundance, yet their name is internally associated with struggle, lack, or unworthiness. They may not speak these beliefs aloud, but they act from them. They hesitate to charge fairly for their work. They doubt opportunities when they appear. They fear loss more than they value growth. When such a name is symbolically placed into water, the water reflects tension rather than ease. This is not punishment, it is information. To recognize what your name carries is to take responsibility for shaping it. Identity is not fixed. Just as water adapts to every container, your name adapts to the meaning you repeatedly give it. When intention changes, identity follows. If you begin to associate your name with reliability, skill, learning, and service, your actions slowly align with those qualities. Over time, others respond differently to you and opportunities move toward you with less resistance. This is why intention matters more than affirmation. Intention is lived, not spoken once. When you see your name in water, you are reminded that you are the one filling it with meaning every day. Are your actions reinforcing trust in yourself or reinforcing doubt? Are you treating your work as something valuable or something you rush through without care? The water does not answer these questions for you, but it gives you the space to ask them honestly. Money often flows toward names that stand for something clear. A name known for integrity attracts trust. A name known for consistency attracts opportunity. A name known for growth attracts expansion. These qualities are not mystical, yet they feel mysterious to those who have never examined their identity closely. By bringing awareness to your name, you begin to shape it intentionally rather than unconsciously. In this sense, placing your name in water becomes a quiet commitment. A commitment to align your self-image with the life you seek to build. Not through force, but through clarity. Not through pretending, but through practice. When identity and intention move together, effort becomes lighter, decisions become steadier, and the path toward prosperity becomes more natural. The water simply reminds you that the work begins with who you believe yourself to be. Money follows clarity, not desperation. Wealth is attracted through calm focus, right effort, and purposeful action, not greed, fear, or frantic chasing. Many people believe that money responds to urgency, anxiety, or intense wanting. They think that the stronger the desire, the faster wealth should appear. Yet experience quietly teaches the opposite. When the mind is desperate, decisions become rushed, judgment becomes clouded, and effort loses direction. Desperation tightens the body and narrows perception. It causes people to chase every opportunity without discernment, to fear loss before it arrives, and to mistake motion for progress. In such a state, money does not feel attracted, it feels pressured, and pressure rarely creates stability. Clarity, on the other hand, creates space. When the mind is clear, one sees what truly matters and what does not. Choices become deliberate rather than reactive. A clear mind understands timing, preparation, and patience. It recognizes that wealth is not a sudden event, but a process built through understanding value and delivering it consistently. This kind of clarity does not rush. It moves steadily, like a river that knows its direction even when the path curves. When people act from desperation, they often send conflicting signals into the world. They want quick results but avoid long-term commitment. They seek abundance but resist learning new skills. They crave security yet fear taking responsibility. These contradictions weaken effort. Clarity dissolves them. With clarity, intention becomes singular. One knows why they are working, what they are offering, and whom they are serving. This focus makes action efficient and meaningful. Money responds to this state because clarity produces trust. Others can sense when someone understands their own value. Clear communication, consistent behavior, and reliable delivery naturally attract collaboration and opportunity. Desperation, by contrast, often repels trust. It shows up as overpromising, under-delivering, or constantly changing direction. Even when effort is high, results remain unstable. This is why calm focus is more powerful than intense wanting. Calm focus allows you to learn from mistakes without collapsing into self-judgment. It allows you to adjust strategy instead of abandoning it entirely. It allows you to see setbacks as information rather than as personal failure. Over time, this mindset compounds. Small improvements accumulate. Skills sharpen. Confidence grows quietly, not loudly. Right effort emerges from clarity. Right effort is neither laziness nor exhaustion. It is effort applied where it matters most. It knows when to act and when to wait. It respects energy, time, and attention as valuable resources. When effort is guided by clarity, work becomes sustainable. Sustainable work creates reliable outcomes. Reliable outcomes create financial growth that lasts. Clarity also changes your relationship with money itself. Instead of seeing it as a measure of self-worth or survival, you begin to see it as feedback. It reflects how effectively you are meeting needs, solving problems, or creating value. This perspective reduces fear and increases responsibility. You no longer beg money to arrive, you prepare yourself to receive it by becoming useful and skillful. In this way, money follows clarity naturally, without force. It is drawn to those who understand what they are doing and why they are doing it. Desperation asks, how fast can I get paid? Clarity asks, how well can I serve? The second question may seem slower, but it builds momentum that does not collapse under pressure. When the mind is calm and focused, action becomes precise and wealth finds a place to settle rather than a reason to flee. Purified intention leads to abundance when desire is replaced with discipline, honesty, and usefulness. Opportunities and resources naturally align. Purified intention is not about removing desire altogether, but about refining it until it becomes clear, steady, and aligned with reality. Desire in its raw form is often mixed with fear, comparison, and impatience. People want money not only for comfort or freedom, but also to prove something, to escape insecurity, or to quiet an inner sense of lack. When intention is tangled in these motives, action becomes inconsistent. One day there is motivation, the next day discouragement. One moment there is confidence, the next there is self-doubt. Purification begins when these motives are seen honestly rather than denied. To purify intention is to ask why you seek abundance and what you are willing to give in return. Honest intention accepts effort, learning, and time as part of the process. It does not demand reward without contribution. When intention is purified, shortcuts lose their appeal. Discipline replaces urgency. Patience replaces anxiety. This does not make the path passive, it makes it stable. Stable effort has a rhythm that can be sustained without burning out. Honesty plays a central role in this purification. Honest intention means being truthful about your skills and your limitations. It means admitting when improvement is needed instead of pretending readiness. When effort is honest, energy is no longer wasted on appearances. All attention can be directed toward growth. This focus gradually builds competence, and competence naturally attracts reward. Abundance does not appear as a gift, it appears as a response. Discipline is often misunderstood as restriction, but in truth it is alignment. Discipline means repeatedly choosing actions that support your intention even when enthusiasm fades. It is the quiet commitment to show up, refine your craft, and follow through. When intention is pure, discipline does not feel like punishment. It feels like self-respect. Each disciplined action reinforces trust in yourself, and that trust becomes visible to others. Usefulness is another aspect of purified intention. Wealth grows where value is created. When intention shifts from what can I get to what can I contribute, perspective widens. You begin to notice real needs instead of imagined opportunities. You listen more carefully. You adjust your efforts to serve better. Usefulness grounds ambition in reality, preventing it from drifting into fantasy. Money flows more easily when it is connected to real benefit. Purified intention also reduces inner conflict. When motives are mixed, the mind resists its own goals. Part of you wants success, another part fears change. Part of you wants abundance, another part doubts worthiness. As intention becomes clearer, these inner divisions soften. Action becomes smoother because it is no longer pulled in opposite directions. This inner harmony reflects outwardly as consistency and reliability. Over time, purified intention changes how results are experienced. Success no longer feels fragile or accidental. It feels earned and repeatable. Even setbacks are met with steadiness because the foundation is solid. You know why you are walking the path, so obstacles do not shake your direction. This calm persistence is rare, and because it is rare, it attracts opportunity. In this way, abundance is not forced into existence. It grows naturally from intention that has been clarified, disciplined, and aligned with usefulness. When desire is purified, effort becomes effective. When effort is effective, results follow without strain. The mind becomes quiet, action becomes precise, and prosperity finds a place where it can remain. Inner change creates outer results. True prosperity begins with the mind. When thoughts, actions, and purpose are in harmony, abundance arrives as a natural outcome. Inner change is the silent beginning of every visible result. Before circumstances shift, before opportunities appear, and before money flows, something within the mind reorganizes itself. Most people try to change outcomes while leaving their inner world untouched. They chase better conditions, new methods, or external approval, believing these alone will transform their lives. Yet without inner alignment, even the best opportunities feel unstable. They arrive briefly and leave just as quickly. Lasting results require a different starting point. The mind shapes perception, and perception shapes action. If the inner dialogue is filled with doubt, scarcity, or fear, action reflects those states. Effort becomes hesitant or chaotic. Decisions are guided by avoidance rather than intention. Even when progress is made, it feels fragile, as if it could disappear at any moment. Inner change softens this tension. It replaces constant self-questioning with quiet confidence rooted in practice rather than wishful thinking. When thought patterns shift, behavior follows naturally. A person who begins to trust their ability to learn no longer avoids challenges. A person who believes effort compounds no longer quits at the first delay. These changes may seem small, but they accumulate. Over time, they reshape habits, and habits shape results. This is how inner change moves outward slowly, consistently, and without drama. Outer results respond to coherence. When thoughts, emotions, and actions move in the same direction, energy is no longer scattered. Focus deepens. Work improves. Communication becomes clearer. Others sense this coherence and respond with trust. Opportunities arise not because they are magically summoned, but because the individual is prepared to recognize and sustain them. Readiness is an inner state long before it becomes an external condition. Inner change also transforms the way obstacles are experienced. Instead of seeing difficulties as proof of failure, they are seen as part of refinement. This perspective prevents emotional collapse and preserves momentum. A calm response to challenge allows learning to continue uninterrupted. Over time, resilience becomes a defining trait. Resilient individuals tend to create stable success because they do not abandon their path when pressure increases. The relationship with money itself changes through inner work. Money stops being an emotional trigger and becomes a practical tool. Fear of loss weakens. Obsession with gain softens. Decisions improve because they are no longer driven by extremes. This balanced relationship allows for smarter risk-taking, better planning, and clearer judgment. Financial growth becomes intentional rather than accidental. Inner alignment also encourages patience without passivity. Patience does not mean waiting without action, it means acting without panic. It allows time for skills to mature and for trust to build. Many outer results require time because they depend on relationships, reputation, and mastery. Inner change provides the stability needed to remain committed throughout this process. As inner clarity deepens, the outer world reflects it. Work becomes more focused, goals become more realistic, progress becomes measurable. Even when outcomes are delayed, there is a sense of direction rather than confusion. This steady movement attracts support, collaboration, and resources that were previously overlooked. In the end, outer abundance is not separate from inner condition. It is an extension of it. Change the inner landscape and the outer terrain slowly reshapes itself. Not through force, but through alignment. When the mind is clear and steady, action becomes effective. When action is effective, results appear naturally. Inner change is the quiet cause, outer results are simply its visible echo.